Hello students, Dr. Voris here with a short tutorial on how to use Zoom. I know before we went on break, I mentioned that Zoom is going to be the platform that we use. It's something I'm really familiar with. It's something that a lot of business professionals use. You've probably already seen the jokes going around social media about Zoom University. This tutorial is going to introduce you to some of the functions that we're going to use. I wanted to do this now rather than waste class time next week explaining all the functions, how to get into the meeting, how to join the meeting, how to share your screen, how to participate in the chat function. So my son Parker, he's on the other side of the room, or he's on the other side of the house, I should say, not the room, but he's going to help demonstrate some of the functions that Zoom utilizes. You won't be able to hear him because of the program that I'm using, but you'll get a look at what Zoom will look like from your end. So the way it will work is I will put a link for our classroom on Blackboard. I'll also put it on an email that'll probably go out on Monday. I also have set up these virtual office hours. If you've seen my email signature over the last week, I'm going to start virtual office hours on Monday. I'll put this link in the email that this video is attached to, but you can click on that link anytime between 12 and 2 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and connect virtually with me. If you want to talk about the class, if you want to talk about finding an internship, if you want to talk about the Tiger King documentary and all the crazy people in that, if you want to talk about finding a job or just dealing with this pandemic that cut short your senior year. So when I do send out that link, it's going to look like this. When you click on it, it will automatically open up the Zoom website. Now, there are two ways to join the Zoom meeting from here. Number one, you can download a plugin for your browser. So that will plug into the code on your Safari, your Firefox, your Chrome, whatever you have, and you'll be able to join the meeting within your web browser. Now, if you've downloaded Zoom or you have the app on your desktop, your computer, or your phone, you'll get this prompt to say open Zoom. So since mine is already down, I already have the program downloaded, it gave me that prompt. But again, you can either access it through the plugin on your web browser, which will be right here. You'll have to download it and install it. Or if you have the program downloaded and installed, you can just hit open Zoom and it'll take you right into the meeting. Now, when I hit open Zoom, you'll notice that it does all its work. It goes right into the meeting. Now, before we get into that meeting, I'm going to show you a couple things. Number one, let me pull this down out of the side here. This is what kind of the regular Zoom program works. So if you ever close out of the meeting, you can go right back into it. If you want to create your own meeting with your classmates or other people in your group and you have the program, you can create your own meeting right here anytime. So going back to our Zoom room here, before you even join the room, Zoom will pop up with this box right here. And everyone should try to test this between now and Tuesday, or test it around 11:30 on Tuesday before we join our class. So the first thing you see here is the join with computer audio, and then the option underneath, which is test speaker and microphone. I would do this, like I said, between now and Tuesday morning. So if we do test microphone, did I hear the ringtone? I did hear the ringtone, yes. Speak and pause, do you hear the replay? Yes, I heard the replay. Maybe you heard the echo coming from my computer speakers on the microphone, but that worked just fine. And now I can join with computer audio, and that is all set to it's working. So I would make sure you do that. You might have to choose a different microphone on your computer. You might find out that the microphone on your computer is not working, or that your speakers aren't working, or they're not turned up all the way if you don't hear that ringtone. But that allows you, before you join that first meeting, to set up Zoom with the audio features that you'll need. So now I'm going to join the meeting, and I'm in with my computer audio. Now you don't see video here. I don't have my video turned on because I'm using the webcam for this different program that's recording my screen. So you see this nice profile picture of me. But the Zoom screen looks like this. The features are all at the bottom here. On the bottom left is the mute function and the video function. Mine are automatically set to have no video and to be muted when I join any Zoom meeting. That's probably good practice as long as you remember to unmute yourself when you want to speak. But then if I want to speak to the other people in the room, I just hit the unmute button and I can speak, or I would hit the video button here and my video would come on. Okay, and then this is what it will look like when other people are in the meeting. So this is my son Parker. Parker, they won't be able to hear you, but wave hi. And we're going to demonstrate a couple things that you'll be able to do with other participants in the room. Of course, when we're using Zoom, normally you'll be able to hear the other person. It's just because I'm using a screen share program to show you some of these features. But the first thing that you'll notice at the bottom of the screen here is the chat function. Now, if I hit the chat function, I'll be able to see the chat. But Parker, he can't see the chat right now. It doesn't pop open for him. For him to see it, he's got to hit the chat button. So Parker, go ahead and hit the chat button. Now can you see the chat function? Give us a thumbs up. They can't hear you, remember? Yeah, so go ahead and type something in that chat box over there on the side. And this is where you'll be able to communicate with me, or you can also direct message other people. So if I wanted to send a private message to Parker, you know, I will be able to do that, or you could send private messages to each other if you want to make fun of my crazy hair that I haven't been able to cut because everything is closed, or you know, if you want to talk to your group members about something that's going on during the class, you can do that. But the chat function is also going to be very important because the other option that I have here is to mute people. And everyone in the room will be automatically muted. As you'll see here, there's a function right here where I'll be able to hit mute all. And that's going to mute everyone. So Parker's muted right now. So even if he wanted to say something, Parker, try and say something. Right? Can't hear him, completely muted. What I would like you, the students, to do, if you have a question or you have a comment, again, I would like participation to be very strong in the remaining 8 weeks. I would say something in the chat, Parker. So can you, in the chat, can you go ahead and type, I have a question? Dramatic pause. I have a question. So I can go up to you, the student, in this case, Parker. I can hit the unmute, and now you would be able to ask a question. This will take a little bit of getting used to on everybody's part. You know, it'll take a little bit of getting used to on my part of unmuting you, and then, you know, you remembering to mute yourself, or me going back and muting yourself. But with 50 people in the room at one time, we don't want 50 microphones on it at the same exact time. I think Parker's video has frozen. I'll also be able to, you know, stop his video. But that's, you know, hopefully it doesn't come to that for anybody. But I can go ahead and start his video again that way. The other function that I wanted to show for everyone is another important function that's at the bottom of the screen here, which is the share screen option. A lot of my lectures will be using this, and the other thing that you'll be able to do is I would like to carry on with a lot of the presentations that were planned for the second half of the semester. I have altered the content of the class significantly in the second half, but there are still a couple presentations that will be included. The way we will do that is with the share screen function at the bottom. So if I click on share screen here, you'll see a number of different options of things I can share. So I can share my actual screen, the entire screen. I can share from a program. So if I had Microsoft Word open, or if I had Microsoft, well, let me go ahead and open that really quick. My PowerPoint, if Microsoft PowerPoint is open, I can share directly that PowerPoint. The thing to keep in mind with this is the option to share with computer sound. So if you have a PowerPoint in which you have audio that you want to share, you have to make sure to hit that share computer sound. I'm going to X out of this for you can see how I can share a PowerPoint. So there's a PowerPoint that's open now. Go back to share screen, broadcast. This is for my media class. I can hit share with computer sound, and now I can present that lecture with the PowerPoint. And I can click on any of the videos that might be in it. There's a video in here on NFL Films, I know, or on here it is on NFL Films, where I could click that. It would open up YouTube, and you would be able to hear the audio as the audience. The functions to control that broadcast are at the top of the screen right here. So if I want to stop sharing my screen or stop sharing the PowerPoint in this case, I just hit stop share and we are back to the regular kind of chat room. Yes, it is very laggy right now. It's probably because your brother's playing Fortnite in the other room. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. I'm sure the students completely identify with that. But that's a little bit about how to use some of the functions in Zoom. The other function is that in some of the programs you'll have the reactions button on the bottom here, bottom screen here, where you can kind of raise your hand or you can, call attention to the professor. I'll be recording all the meetings. You'll see that right there. I'll be putting them online. And like I said, it's going to be a little bit of a growth curve for us here to learn how things work, learn how Zoom works, how everything comes together. I really hope it's like I said, a lot of businesses will use Zoom, so it's going to be a good experience for you to get a little bit more experience with how things work. And like I said, I would try to test out some of those functions between now and Tuesday. It's not very complicated. It's not a big barrier of entry to overcome to learn the program. The first week of class, we are going to talk about finding internships in this very complicated age that we now live in. We're going to talk a little bit about mental health in this age of a pandemic. And then the second week, we will start again on the NASCAR case, which will be our first case to address after the break. So I will see everyone on Tuesday. Again, please experiment a little bit with Zoom. Make sure you use that chat function and you open that up where you can communicate with me. Play around with the reactions. Play around with being able to share your screen, making sure you hit that button where you share video also. Again, when you share the screen, you can share the entire screen or you can share exactly a specific program like Word or PowerPoint or Chrome or whatever web browser you have open. So again, this program is useful not just for the work that we're going to do in this class, but also for any collaboration that you see fit to pursue as we go forward in this class. Spoiler alert, when it comes to the projects, I'm going to give you free will to choose whether or not you want to continue to work in groups of 4, groups of 3, groups of 2, or just fly solo because things are very complicated right now and you feel like you're the best one to tackle the case studies and the presentations going forward, which will be truncated. They won't be as long and as in-depth as I was expecting before. They will be much shorter. I shouldn't say much shorter, but they will be of a truncated format. So good luck out there, everybody. Stay healthy, and I will see you on Tuesday.